came up yesterday, if you guys weren't aware of, and we got a chance to look at the film, got the things that we felt like were correctable, got those worked out in practice with our mistakes, and got all the corrections made, and have turned a page and now moving on towards Illinois.
Larry, when you look back on the tape from Saturday, especially offensively, were you happy with what you guys tried to do? Were you happy with the approach, and especially kind of the disparity between run and pass?
Yeah, I mean, was I happy with it? I would have liked a heck of a lot more production in everything we did, and a lot more consistency. And if we would have probably been more consistency, we would have done a few different things. But because of our lack of consistency, we tended to go towards the pass more, and we didn't hit on any of the plays that we thought we were going to hit on.
Was that always the game plan, to pass as much as you guys did?
We don't really go into a game plan saying, let's throw it this many times, let's run it this many times. It's more dictated on what the defense does and how we're performing in the game. If we were running the ball effectively, then we probably would have run the ball quite a bit more, actually.
So the lack of consistency you're talking about, like on first and second down?
Yeah, we were way too inconsistent. I mean, when you start getting behind the chains every time, and you're in long yardage situations, it's tough to just sit in there and say, okay, we're going to run the football. And I mean, I've never done that, and I never probably will. It's just not my philosophy. So I've never gone into a game saying, we're just going to run the football no matter what they do. I mean, it's always this offense has always been dictated on take advantage of what the defense gives you.
You had some success running the ball on first down, though. What didn't you like about what you guys were doing there?
There were too many times that we were getting behind the chains. I mean, it was more, like I said, there was inconsistency. It was not that we never had any success. It was that we couldn't get any consistent success so that you could get a flow going in the game and continue to move the chains. There were a few series where we did do that, and we were successful moving the ball in those series. But when we weren't, and we started getting behind the chains, then we put too much on the quarterback then.
Elijah has, I think it's 23 carries in the last two season openers, and seems like a guy that, as a physical runner, gets better the more work he has. But you've also been pretty open about there's a plan you have for everything you do with how you manage his workload. I guess, how do you explain, 2 games worth of lack of workload for what most people say is your best player?
Yeah, I first of all, let me tell you, I think that both of those guys, both T.J. Logan and Elijah Hood, ran really hard and ran really well and did some really nice things throughout the game. I mean, it's the same situation as always. I mean, if we run the ball good enough, then we didn't throw it enough. If we don't throw it well, then we didn't run it enough. It's always the same thing. I mean, it's we go in with a game plan to take advantage of what they give us, and then unfortunately in that game, we didn't know what they were going to do in a lot of the situations, and we had to adjust. And if we hit on some of those big plays that I expected us to, some of the layups that we got, and it may be a different style of game, but it wasn't.
How much did they disguise kind of what they were doing defensively? Like, would they give you guys one look before the snap and then maybe adjust?
You got some of that. Yeah, you got some of that. I mean, they did a good job in their secondary with their coverages and all those things. We studied as much of the Alabama film as we could possibly study, and you got some similar things, but still not to the when you start looking at tendencies, you really have no tendencies to go off of based other than what they did at Alabama, and so it wasn't the same. So you have to adjust. You got to adjust in the middle of the game, and I didn't think that we adjusted well enough, especially on offense. With the guys that we have returning, I just didn't feel like we did that well enough.